Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI live noding. In this video, I'm going to try to create this kind of a parallax effect. Like this is like more like a 2D parallax, not like a 3D parallax. The effects that you might see in the anime, like from Ghibli, Miyazaki anime. Basically, I really like the idea of like infinite scrolling. Um, is it a way that you can kind of look at one shot and then the shot is really kind of long, but we have this continuously looping scrolling that's kind of believable. uh, I think I will try to attempt to recreate that using animation nodes. The nice thing about procedural is you can have like a unlimited variety of kind of like maybe like using procedural texture, and then you can animate no matter how long your scene is. Maybe you can have like 500 frame, 5000, or it will always generate it for you, and you can adjust the speed, for example, for the animations. As I make it like much slower now. This is like an example I use. This is just a PNG I grabbed from internet, as the character is Totoro, my neighbor Totoro, Miyazaki anime. And I create this in a maybe around half hour or a little bit more. So this is just a flat thing. The moon is a flat thing. The mountain is a procedural. It's basically just a displace modifier, and then the snow is the cloud is also a displace modifier with a cloud texture. It's fairly basic for this test I did. The star here is actually just a cube, and then I use a torus. Um, the torus looks like, where is it? I think I hit the torus. So originally it's just this torus, and then I kind of displace the torus using animation nodes and make the points of the torus to travel around, and then yeah. So but the rest of thing is basically just a texture kind of sliding through the objects to displace it. And it's the setup itself is quite simple. I'll show you later. We're not gonna recreate this. Maybe we use something else. Okay, I can start from scratch. Basically, parallax is the effects that we get when we have, let's say we have this. This is an example of a parallax in a web design. There's a parallax happening there when we're scrolling down. I think that's a really neat kind of effects. Basically, we have like a multi-layered transparent objects, or multi-layered objects in foreground and background. Basically, we need one background, and then we need multiple objects. The objects that are closer to the camera should move a little bit faster. When it's arranged properly, it looks like kind of like 3D, even though it's just 2D. Here's another example. This is better. You can see the elements there just now. So we have this, and then a lot of trees, and the mountain, and then the sun. Very neat kind of effects, and it's used in the tablet and comics on the tablet nowadays. I think it's very subtle, but also very neat. Kind of want to investigate that. So I'm gonna improvise a little bit. I found this. There is this artwork by Mobile Game Graphics. I don't know, but I got these assets that give us a background to use. Let me get it real quick. Okay, this apparently I have 2 of them. So I downloaded from them, and we have background 1, 3, and 7, and there's this parallax one. Okay, I think I will need to choose one of these. I'll get a smaller one. This is 5 layers parallax. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's have a look at the artwork first. I'll import it as planes. I'll switch to desktop. and find a background. Oops, background's free, and then we need to turn on alpha, but I believe these guys have alpha already. Parallax demo. Grab all these 5 and make them shadeless as well. Import images as planes and have a look. Okay, that seems like something I can work with. So there's the background, and then there's this, and the tree, and then the rock. Okay, that's pretty good. Save as and parallax. Now depends how we gonna do this. Let's arrange these objects first. Currently, I think I need to zero them out. We can use animation nodes to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blender actually have object align as well. Maybe I should use it. Align. Where is align? Align objects. And there's the option centered relative to active. Align. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And align it in the X. Okay, something like that. Oops. What's the last object active? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Align. There we go. Now I just need to rearrange them properly. Let's just manually do it for now. So look at the outliner. Layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it has a number, so it's seems pretty good. We can use animation nodes for that. You can arrange it manually. It's fine, but I just want to show it to you. Oh, actually, I need to group it. Objects group, and then loop through objects. Turn off always. Object transform output, and let's arrange this using their index. Perhaps the index in the Z. Okay, it's getting there. Except they're kind of arranged in reverse, so I need to reverse the list. Reverse list. There you go. And then there's a little bit too far apart. They're like 1 unit apart. We need to use math and rearrange them. Something like that. There you go. I might use the ambient occlusion just to get that drop shadow type of effects slightly. So it looks really cartoony, but I think that will work for us. File save as, file save as. Now here, maybe they're still too far apart. 0.05 should do it. Now the next thing we want to do is so there are multiple ways we can do this. It depends how you want to do it. You might want to just use array modifier, maybe, just to create the duplications to make the background longer. Maybe let's do that for now, just to keep things simple. You can set it up so the array is longer and longer depending on the timeline of your scene. Depends how you want to do it, but let's make like 5 for now, or 6. Okay, this one also 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. Yeah, so we have something working already. We don't actually need to use loop in this case. If using loop is too much trouble, it's not like a math. You kind of wanna, sometimes you want to do it manually as well. Let me save this real quick, and I believe if I disconnect this, everything should be still in place. Okay, we don't need to use loop. Just do it more like a manual kind of way, more simple. So with these guys at their positions, I want to select all of them and kind of go to switch to animation nodes tab and create an initial transform. Okay, and then so I have this 5 4 3 2 1 layer. Let's select the layer number 5 first, the background. I'm gonna load it in animation nodes. Object transform, I believe. Object transform output. And I will select the layer 1, so that's a good indication. If I turn this on, okay, there it's just still in the 0 0 position, so that's good, but the other might actually jump. Like let's try the cloud layer, this guy, get layer number 2. See, you see it jumps into 0 0 0. We don't want that. We want to use initial transform. Object, get object ID key, and that's layer 2, get the transform, initial transform plug in there. So it needs to do that before we offset it. Okay, so that's the first important thing. Or you can just like a reset, just apply the transformation if you think that easier. Apply locations, Control A. I'm gonna continue with the next objects. So layer 1 is okay, it's at 0 0 0, and layer 2, layer 3, this is layer 3, and then layer 4, and layer 5. And now we're gonna control each one of these layers using animation nodes. Hopefully it's just gonna work. It's pretty basic, really. We just wanna scroll it in X, right? The background can stay as it is. Actually, it doesn't need to move, so I can leave it alone. But the cloud and then the mountain and everything else should move to the left if the character is moving to the right. So let's start with the cloud here. We're gonna have a frame that's gonna controlling the scrolling. The parallax effects will happen automatically. I think we just gonna have a look. We're gonna use a vector math. Just add the frame into, to the X, and then now supposedly now the cloud is moving. Okay, it's moving to the right and disappear. That's wrong. We need to reverse the effects, and we also need to make it slower, of course. So we need to use a multiplier, and it's a frame goes into, but the multiplier is it's a math, not a vector math. Okay, frame goes in and multiply by maybe minus 0.1, and then the result goes into the X. Now the cloud is moving a little bit too fast, maybe slower, 0.01, still a little bit fast, but maybe okay. 0.05 maybe. Now it's kind of better. So we need a multiplier, and then we need to kind of offset this layer from the original position. So we're gonna continue with the next one. Duplicate this. We're gonna use the same frame. Actually, I will do one more thing here. I'll just add another multiplier here. So just in case I wanna have like a global multiplier, I can do that really easy using this guy. So time frame that keeps going, and then a multiplier here, and another multiplier. It's gonna make sense real soon. The second one, maybe the mountain. Okay, the mountain, we need to do the same thing. We need to have this object transform, and then we need to use a vector math as an offset. So now we have the mountains moving a little bit faster, and then the tree should be even faster. And because our character might be behind the tree or in front of the tree, we will see. The same thing, we're gonna do the same thing to the next. Perhaps if we want, we can create like a group nodes to do this kind of repetition. Okay, instead of multiple nodes like this, make one setup and then do the same thing. Just for the parallax effect. If you have like a lot of layers, otherwise this is pretty alright. It should be moved even just slightly faster. Okay, this one goes in there. That's for the tree. Normally you can see this kind of effects if you're traveling by using train or cars, and it's a long roads, like a straight, just straight road. This effect will happen automatically. Remember that you can also control the height here using the Y. So if the mountain is a bit, I don't know, so you can control that anyway using your eyes. So the tree should be moving a little bit faster, maybe 0.03. And the stone, this is the ground. It can be moving as well, why not? So put that there, the offset in, and then this guy, and connect that to this, and the ground should be moving even faster. 0.05, and then plug that in. So now we started to get a parallax effects. Probably not the most accurate, but we can always tweak it. See the array here? It's kind of disappearing. That means we need more. Like this tree, for example. Maybe adjust the spacing so it's not too equal. The thing with array is, of course, it's gonna be kind of repetitive sometimes. Where's the mountain? We have the cloud, so the cloud is fine. Where's the mountain? I think that's the mountain. Oh no, that's the ground. Naming it should be something to think about. So there's the mountain. I'll keep it together with the mountain. So yeah, we have parallax effect, and if our scene is kind of framed like this, it's kind of works. Okay, the tree might need to be a little bit lower. There you go. We have the cloud moving. Okay, this must be like a fast moving car. But remember, we have this multiplier. We can make it 0.4. Now it's moving a little bit slower. Now even slower, kind of really slow. This is like if you're on the boat and then you move a little bit faster. Yeah, I think that's a parallax effects happening. A good parallax have some kind of perspective. It feels like correct perspective. Let's see what else we can do here. Maybe we'll add a moon. File save as. Moon is simply just maybe a circle with a little bit of depth. Something like that will do. This is a super moon, super giant moon. Shadeless. It's not green, it should be like super bright yellow. And this moon can be just a little bit behind the cloud. And the moon should be moving as well, but it's kind of really slowly. I think the cloud is touching the mountain too much, so I think, let's see. Cloud, which is the cloud? Second layer. Oops, that's the Z. Yeah, I guess that's all right. The moon should be just behind the cloud. I think the GLSL works better. The cloud should move slower than the cloud. I mean the moon, the super moon should be just. Oh, wait a minute. With the background here, I think I can scale it. Forgot. Scale it in Y. Yeah, that's better. And then the moon can go down. And let's move the moon in X. Get the moon first. Set the initial position. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 duplicate. That's the moon. This is the background. Grab the moon. Get the initial position of the moon. And then simply plug this multiplier in there. Currently it's gonna move with the cloud ever so slowly. Maybe just a little bit slower. Okay, now everything is moving. Now we just need our character. Let's see what do I have. Import another thing. Let's stop this. File, import image as blank with alpha on and then shadeless on. Do I have Totoro here? Totoro Supermoon. Flying Totoro, okay. That's the one. Okay, Totoro is kind of in reverse at the moment. Let's reposition Totoro first. Totoro RY minus 180. And let's place Totoro in let's stop this first. something like that. It's behind the mountain. Oh no, too much. We can always rearrange this guy if we use the okay, I need to move, maybe I need to move them in Z, but that's okay for now. Everything is pretty much flat, so I can just place Totoro just behind the tree, I guess. Totoro should move forward, unlike the rest. So Totoro create initial transform, and now we can animate Totoro. So one again, select this LLL and move it. Then just duplicate this once again. Plug the multiplier there, multiplier there, and then this Totoro is moving a little bit fast, so 0.2. Totoro is moving forward, and we need to select Totoro and Totoro. Super. So the parallax should be happening. The parallax is really our camera, so the camera can be moving slow, but the Totoro is the character can move a little bit fast, but a little bit faster than the camera. It depends if it's like a scrolling game and you're following the character might be in the center and then the background is moving, but the character stay in the same position. With Totoro, I want the Totoro to move ups and down, and I can use wiggle, I guess, for the the Y. Yep, the Y, wiggle ups and downs. That should be pretty fun to do, to add wiggle. So stop it first, wiggle, wiggle, number wiggle, and the evolution should be with wiggle. It doesn't matter. You can control the speed separately. Just plug this to the evolution, and then the speed we can control here. Speed of ups and down of the Totoro, ups and down is Y, so plug it to Y. Now it should be Totoro moving ups and down. What else? What else? What else? That's probably pretty much it. I can now control the speed from the multiplier. Oh, whoops. Let's randomize the seed. That's not good. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent looking animations. Make it a little bit faster. 0.4. And let's switch to 3D view full, and now should be moving at real speed. Turn on texture. Now there you go. That's our trick for parallax effect. It's the whole thing right there. Look at the moon. It's a little bit fun. But if you have the camera, and the camera can actually move as well. Move to the left or to the right. One of them. So like I said, if you have everything set up procedurally, you can't always have everything procedurally set up. But if you can, you can have like unlimited scrolling basically. But that's the real advantage of it. Okay, that guy need more array. Back to properties. just add more. Maybe I think array doesn't matter. Array is pretty fast in Blender. No matter you have 100 arrays, it should just be fine speed wise. Originally I want it to be like maybe if we have like a cloud, oh maybe we have like a tree like this. Originally I was thinking maybe we can do it like in a computer game programming. It's like if you have this tree and then this tree and that tree, you can create a like a loop if you move this like that, and then suddenly the program kind of looping it, kind of like repeating. I guess we can do that as well. Let's see, should I do one more thing to make it even cooler? I guess I should compositing, back to compositing. Okay, one more thing, just special bonus. RX19. This is a torus, okay? What I'll do, turn this into wire, reset to 0, 0, 0. I will use this torus, actually I'll place it somewhere there. Apply the position, and then what, whoops, set origin to geometry. What I'll do is to just rotate the torus in the Y, Euler Y, I think. I'll show you real quick. Object transform output. Select our torus and rotation. Gets back to that. Rotate this in 90 degree and then rotate the. We're just gonna rotate in Y. The torus one is special. It's kind of like a way we can loop stars. Okay, that's gonna be the idea. So the star should be moving and endlessly in the background. This I believe the yellow background should be a little bit behind more. Just behind, and then the star can be somewhere between the sky. Scale, oops, scale this. So we have the torus and we have this guy, and then we want to use the position of the torus. So object mesh data, get our objects and get the vector locations, and then now loop through vertex location, and then use vector math, randomize the position using wiggle noise, vector wiggle, plug the index into the seed, and this guy get the original vector, and then use a frame number here. And use this position for our object instances. Object instancer. And how many do we need? Maybe 100 points of stars. Star is going to be, what's going to be the star? Icosphere. Alt G, apply location, rotation, scale, give it a shader, grab it, and use this object list. object transform output for our instancer. It's that simple, and hopefully it works. Kind of works. Maybe this is too much, and our star should be a little bit smaller, and maybe the torus can be a little bit larger. Scale our stars, or maybe it's not a star, maybe it's like fireflies. Point 3, and maybe we need more. 500 done. And with objects instancer, let's see. Turn off the relationship lines, and then have a look in 3D view. It looks actually more like snow, kind of a, yeah, but see, it's looping around this scene. Maybe I give too much noise to it, so the amplitude can be just maybe 2, and the background can be even further back. Sky. The thing is, everything is pretty much 3D, right? So unless you flatten the camera in Blender, we can simply let's pause this. We can simply turn the camera into orthographic. That's an advantage for this kind of work. So let's get our camera. Where's our camera? Let's view camera, active camera. Maybe we don't have active camera. Maybe I delete it. Okay, so create a new camera, and then view, align active camera to view. Now we have our frame, and then now switch the camera into orthographic. And zoom in. Perhaps I can just stop the camera to view and frame it properly. Now the snow looks huge, and where's our total? Okay, total passing by. Because we are looking at this like now orthographic, that's kind of more, everything is in their proper scale now. The snow should be a lot smaller. Total snow 0.02, and let's jump back to our camera. The ground should be lower, or the camera goes a little bit higher, and then this sky should be taller. Let's get our sky. Scale. Oh, it's actually scaling the Y. Switch to node editor real quick. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's a lot better. Switch this back to timeline. Okay, the moon. Maybe the moon can be just pink. Okay, that is too strong, I think. That's why. And one more thing, maybe depth of field will work. Focus on Totoro viewport. I mean, just something like that. Okay, that's pretty decent, I guess. Oops. Undo. Alt A. Okay, that's yeah, that's pretty much what I want to show you today. Kind of like a test on a parallax setup using animation nodes. I know it's kind of it might be confusing, but it's not confusing. It's actually a lot simpler than actually if you program it, or if you can use Blender drivers just to set up the speed of each layers of background and foreground. But I guess doing it using nodes is kind of a lot of in a way it's a lot friendlier, because you can now just tweak it. You can make it faster, slower. It's as easy as changing the multiplier, and you can always control the background. And once you have this set up, you can reuse it many times. So make this a bit faster or slower. Yeah, but that's kind of my. This is kind of like my quick demo to be able to show you all using nodes and numbers. It's not, for this kind of thing, it's not that complicated. You just move the objects, you offset it using add, vector math add, and then you set up initial transform, and then you make these objects moving up and down. It's mostly just a transformational kind of animations. So that's pretty simple. You can keep adding more elements and then adding more details. I guess this is like a 2.5D workflow in 3D using Blender. I think it's perfect for it. Maybe I might do another parallax using 3D generated objects, but yeah, I guess this is pretty much it for today. Thanks again for tuning into this video. If you have any question, you can ask it in the comments below. It's feel free to try this. Thanks for Studio Ghibli to create this memorable character that I believe I watched it when I was 8 years old, and I saw Totoro for the first time, and I was totally stunned because it's a very memorable character. It's unlike any other animation I ever watched. It's still live on until today, and then heard Miyazaki is gonna make one last final anime. Hopefully, he's good luck on that. Yeah. Anyway, that's how you might do a parallax effects using animation nodes. Hopefully you find this useful. please subscribe to the channel and see you in the next